Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Caroline and today I'm going to tell you about a whoops. That was not what was supposed to happen. Before we get started, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, share the video, turn on notifications. You can also go follow me on my Instagram that's also called The Art of Being Ill. Okay, let's get started. I was saying something about a whoops, that was not supposed to happen thing I want to tell you about today. And I technically overdosed on my ADD medicine. So the medicine that I'm taking for my ADD is methylphenidate. You probably know it as Ritalin. And there are a shortage of methylphenidate these days, at least in Denmark. I don't know if where you live that's the same problem, but it's getting harder and harder to actually deliver methylphenidate to the pharmacies for some reason. I was put in this situation where I couldn't get my medicine. The one I have been taking is something, and I have to say, I can't say if this is what it would be called where you were from, but the brand that I was taking, the medicine I was taking was called Medicanet CR. And I took 30 milligrams in the morning and then 30 milligrams around noon in order for it to last all day. So this particular medicine is now not possible to buy anywhere. There might be pharmacies somewhere in the country who has some in stock, but basically they can't order it and get it home to the pharmacy. So I was basically in the situation where I couldn't get my medicine. Luckily, I am educated a pharmacy technician, so I do know that it's very rare that there is a type of medicine that cannot in any shape or form be delivered. So there will probably be another type with the same drug in, but where there is some difference that I could get. So I found out that I could get, a different type, but where it was still methylphenidate. And I contacted my doctor, who is not a psychiatrist, so he's only allowed to prescribe my ADD medicine because he has been given the permission by a psychiatrist. So he had to write to a psychiatrist to ask what he could prescribe for me instead, so he could get permission to prescribe this new thing for me, right? And everything worked out fine. There was no problems. The psychiatrist wrote back that, just like I said, methylphenidate is, as long as it's methylphenidate, you can just choose a different type. So he did prescribe, actually it's called in Denmark Ritalin Uno. I don't know, again, if that's what you would call it where you come from. And my doctor said to me, maybe you should, try to take it in the weekend where you're not working, because in case you react differently to the medicine, in case the body needs to adjust, it's a good idea to do it over the weekend. And I kind of agree with that. So I go to the pharmacy and I buy this Ritalin Uno. And it's methylphenidate just like the other ADD medicine I used to take. So I take the first capsule Saturday morning last week and didn't really react to it, other than it was working clearly, but I didn't have an unusual reaction. And so I'm thinking, fine, when I get to noon, I just take the second capsule of the day, because that's what I usually do, right? 30 milligrams in the morning, 30 milligrams around noon. And I did the same thing because I didn't have a bad reaction to the first capsule I took in the morning. So I'm just gonna take number 2. Then I go out the door because I am going to my mom's for lunch with the family. And during the day, maybe a couple hours after I took the second capsule, the second dose, I start to feel weird. I can tell that it's pretty clear that my heart rate is very high. My heart is pounding and I'm starting to feel like I'm having a hard time breathing and just overall not feeling well, kind of like when you're getting the flu, not well. And I actually end up leaving this lunching before time because I was feeling really bad and I needed to go home and lie down. And I really didn't, I was like, why? Because this is the exact same drug that I used to take. So why am I having this reaction? This is weird. And because I'm a pharmacy technician, I got a little bit curious about why could I be reacting different to this, because it was the same active drug. And I figured it might have something to do with the way it works. And so I went to this site that's called promedicine.dk. You probably have a similar site where you come from. But because I am a pharmacy technician, I understand what they write on this page because it's basically for doctors and stuff. But I understand it because I am educated a pharmacy technician. So I went to this site and looked up my medicine both the one I took before, Medicanet CR, and this new one, Ritalin Uno. And I started to read about them to see, okay, what is the issue here? What is different? What is my body reacting to? And I found out, yes, it actually had something to do with the way they work. It has something to do with how they release the drug methylphenidate. So the one that I used to take, Medicanet CR, works in the following way. When you take the capsule clearly, and you have to imagine that in one capsule there are 2 doses. And when I took the first capsule, initially it would release the first dose very quickly. And this, I assume, is to get an effect quickly so that you don't have to wait for hours before you're getting the effect of the medicine. Then about 3 hours will pass, and then it will release the second dose. However, the difference here is that the second dose is released slower. It is releasing a part of it very fast, so you get the maximal effect of it. But then there is afterwards a slower release of the remains of the drug in this second doses, so that it lasts longer. I hope that made sense. The one that I take now, Ritalin Uno, works a little bit differently. It is also a capsule, and again, you have to imagine that there are 2 doses in this capsule. The first doses is released initially and fast, just like Medicanet CR, so that you get the full effect quickly, so you don't have to wait for hours for the effect. The difference is about 4 hours later, it releases the second doses. But instead of releasing a part of the doses fast and then the remaining dose very slowly, a little bit of the time throughout the next 6 hours or so, it releases the whole second doses just like it releases the whole first doses. Again, I hope that made sense. So what I technically did is I overdosed on my medicine. Because when you think about it, I took the first capsule in the morning. It releases the first doses quickly and fully. Then, about 4 hours later, it released the second doses, fast and full. And at the same time that it is releasing this second dose, I take the new capsule, the one I'm supposed to take at noon. And that one releases the first dose fast and full. So this means I basically took a double doses of the medicine. So I literally overdosed. My heart rate started to rise and I was feeling really, really sick. And to make matters worse, I actually also in the beginning, like early evening, I felt And right now, I can't remember the word. I will write it if I'm saying the wrong word, but I think you also call it abstinence in English. So I got abstinence from the drug leaving me, right? So I got this second flow of feeling bad. And then I went to bed really early and I felt fine the next morning. So I literally overdosed. Sunday, I then decided to try and only take this one capsule in the morning and not take it at noon, which went fine. But again, Sunday, I didn't have any plans. I wasn't really doing anything. So I wasn't being stimulated. So I wasn't really sure that it was enough to take just one in the morning. So I thought, okay, well, Monday, Tuesday, I have to go to work. I'm going to be way more stimulated. I'll just have to see what happens there. And yes, I definitely felt in the afternoon that, okay, I might need a little extra. Luckily, I do have some tablets with methylphenidate that I can take when needed so that I can, well, keep myself awake and actually function for the rest of the day if I have evening plans, for example. So I've been doing a little testing this whole week, and on Monday I am planning on calling my doctor to tell him what the experience was, because this is actually working really well for me. And let's face it, first of all, this type of the methylphenidate, the Ritalin Uno, is way cheaper than Medikinet CR. And if I only have to take one a day and then sometimes a little extra as needed of these tablets that I have, I could save a ton of money. So I'm planning on talking to my doctor about that. He might need some approval and blah, blah from, a psychiatrist, but I'm planning on talking to him about it so that, because then I can save so much money. Until, of course, that you can't get Ritalin Uno either. Then you have to find a third solution, and then that's probably 10 times as you know what I mean. So why am I telling you guys this story? Well, because this is the reality of living with chronic illness. Sometimes you are literally just being a guinea pig, right? You literally just have to try and see how it works. And sometimes you're gonna experience that you are not reacting well, or like me, accidentally kind of overdosing, and you're gonna feel really sick and bad. And sometimes you just, even though it's methylphenidate, I'm just lucky that all it was that I overdosed. Because if I was reacting poorly to, in general, this Ritalin Uno, I might be in trouble getting medicine at all. So, but it's just, you're just such a guinea pig as chronically ill. And this is not just with mental illness, also physical. They have to try and see what happens. That's basically what it means to be treated for illness. We're going to try this, and then we're going to see that it works. And hopefully you don't have a bad reaction, and hopefully you're still alive when we're done testing you. Okay. That is literally the reality. And I don't think healthy and able people understand that we are living guinea pigs for medicine. You never know. It's like Russian roulette. Every time you take new medicine, it's like you never know what's going to happen, right? You just hope you dodge the bullet. So everyone, that was today's video. I hope you really liked it. And this was a little bit of a different video, but a very, very real one. A very realistic tale of the chronic illness life. But please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and of course, like this video and turn on notifications, share the video. You can also go follow me on my Instagram. That's called The Art of Being Ill. And I will see you next time right here on my channel, The Art of Being Ill.